Welcome to Startup Hype. Today you will meet Sarah and Bryce, founders of Nixit. Want to know what Nixit is? And how this power couple can run a successful business while maintaining a strong relationship? I am Christy Turcios, your host for today. Let's find out how Sarah and Bryce's skills complement each other to form a strong partnership. Stay inspired.
Stay motivated.
Stay hyped.
This is Startup Hype.
Sarah, Bryce, hi. Thank you so much for letting us come to your shop. It's pretty cool in here.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys coming by.
Definitely appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day.
And especially you two taking the time out of your day because, it's your day off, but you're here with us. So we're really excited.
I guess there's never really a day off when you're working for yourself, right?
That's true. That's true.
24/7.
24/7.
So talking about working for yourself, tell me, what is Nixit?
Yeah. So whether you're downsizing, moving, or just simply decluttering, everybody has stuff, right, that they need to get rid of. We really come in and we help you do that. So Nixit is a full-service, eco-friendly junk removal company. We help residential homeowners or businesses basically get rid of any unwanted items without sending those items to the landfill. So we send our team in, we do all the work, the heavy lifting, loading, sorting, all of that. And then on the back end, we'll sort through things and we work to try to rehome or donate anything that we deem as being in good condition, or recycle anything that cannot be rehomed. So we'll really do anything from furniture to appliance pickups. We'll come in, if you have one sofa, get that removed for you. Everything from that to cleaning out, 4,000 square foot homes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work and a lot of muscle needed, right?
A lot of manpower, yeah.
A lot of manpower, whether it's men or women power, right?
Yep,
to make
exactly.
it work. That's awesome. But
takes a village.
So how did you come up with this concept? Was it between the both of you, or did one of you thought about this idea? How was Nixit born?
So I actually love this story. So he's been in the junk removal industry for about 11 years now doing this. Kind of during that time, we've been together 12 years. During that time, I was always really behind the scenes and I got to hear his stories from working out in the field and kind of fell in love with the industry as well. Now, I come from kind of a corporate background. And one day, he was kind of at a transitional point, we'll say transitional point in your career, where you wanted to move on to the next chapter. You weren't sure exactly what that looked like. And so was I. I kind of knew that I was ready for a change in my career as well. Actually, one day we were on a road trip up to Monterey County, just a little weekend getaway. And we were, in the car, just kind of brainstorming ideas like, where is our life heading? What do we want to do with this next chapter? And then I just kind of spitballed and threw out. I was like, you love what you do. I love what you do. Let's start our own junk removal company.
Wow.
And from there, the whole ride up, we were brainstorming ideas. I have like a whole note section on my phone about like all the different company names that we were brainstorming. And we're just like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. 3 years later, mind you, I'd been working on the business plan for about a year. 3 years later, we happened to take our first mini getaway trip. We took the whole 3 days off, which is like unheard of. That was the longest vacation we've had. We happened to be going up to Monterey County, not even realizing or not even knowing. We happened to be doing the same drive, and I turned and I looked at Bryce, and I was like, 3 years. This idea that we had the last time we were in Monterey County has now materialized. Like, we did this. This is our first getaway since starting Nixit, and we had this idea the last time we were driving up the same road to Monterey County. It was such a cool experience.
That is so cool. And how long after you had the idea, when you first drove up and started brainstorming, did it materialize and become Nixit?
About a year. Because I was working on the business plan. On weekends, we were both working our full-time job, and then every weekend I'd continue to work a little bit and chip away at the business plan. And so I worked on that for about a year.
That's pretty cool. Isn't that awesome how you can brainstorm anywhere? You don't need an official setting with a whiteboard. Brainstorming can happen anywhere. And you used it as your little trip going away together. Yeah. And look what came out of it, right?
Yeah, I think in the car is actually the best spot because you're just you're driving, you got the open road, and you're just
2 hours of
chatting
silence.
For sure.
It's a good spot to think.
No, yeah. I think what you've made so far is it's pretty amazing. How long have you had Nixit for now?
Just over 2.5 years, going on 3.
Wow.
And time is flying by so quickly.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know you mentioned a little bit about your corporate background, but what is your background, Bryce?
So I've done quite a bit of a lot of things. I mainly in the blue collar industry. Prior to Nixit and prior to being in the junk removal industry, I was actually in the electricians union. It was a great job, great benefits, but I really hated my job and was like, this is not for me. I need something different. But primarily I've been in the, working with my hands and being outdoors. I'm not much of an office guy. So.
Yeah, junk removal for the last decade, definitely.
Yeah, past 11 years in the junk removal
wow.
industry.
But I love how Sarah fell in love with junk.
Yeah, it's a new adventure every day. And the stories, I mean, you go into so many people's houses, different businesses, and you really see a lot of things that you'll never see at a regular job. So yeah, my background's actually in marketing. Once I graduated, I did marketing for several years, and it was kind of a beautiful marriage between the two.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you mentioned that you've been together for about 12 years. Mm-hmm. What are some of the challenges as being together in a partnership, significant others, right, have when having a business together that you can share with us?
So you never really know when to turn it off. I would say you never know when to turn it off. So it's like...
Would you turn off the business?
No, turn off talking about business.
Work. I mean, there's I'll come home from work and first thing I walk in the door and I'm like, hey, did you send this email? Did you contact this customer?
Did you follow up on that
Did
estimate?
you follow up on this?
Yeah.
And it's really hard to... Being that she works in the office and I work in the field, we communicate via text or phone, but it's not a consistent communication like you and I are talking right now. So there's a lot of things that you're always checking up on, some that she already did and some that hasn't been done. So it's hard to really get home and get that relaxing, I'm off work setting. You got to set boundaries.
Yeah. Are you trying to work on those boundaries?
Absolutely. Every day. And we talk through it. We're like, okay, no, let's, after 6 p.m., let's stop talking about work, or after 7 p.m., or when we're sitting down at the dinner table, let's just turn it off. But we have to really remind ourselves consistently to do that and set those boundaries. Yeah.
But even if you were working in other jobs, you still come home, because I know I come home from work and sometimes I need to vent, and I vent with my husband. I try not to do that. Say, okay, I'm going to stop talking about work, right?
It's hard to do.
Yeah,
it's definitely hard.
So even when you're not a business owner, you do it. I can only imagine when you're in the same business, it's a little harder. It's challenging.
It's hard, and it's really, it's your life, right? It's your livelihood, and it's your passion. It's you're doing what you're enjoying. So it's kind of like talking about a hobby in a way.
I like that. So my next question is, there's a lot of couples out there that are hesitant to start a business together. Even not just only couples, but family members, sometimes even best friends, because they're scared that it's going to do something to the relationship, break them up.
The relationship.
Do you have any words of wisdom for them to go ahead and take that leap of faith into getting a business together?
That's a good question.
Why
don't you? Yeah, go ahead.
I guess make sure one stays in the field and one stays in the office. You have to see each other, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think
we work together, but do we really work together?
Yeah, we're not in the same room at the same time.
Yeah. So she's in the office and I'm in the field and I'm with the guys, and so even though we work together, we live together, our life is very intertwined. We still have that sense of independence. I'm doing what I do in the field, she's doing what she excels at in the office, and then we come home to a mutual household, but I don't feel like I work with my significant other 24/7. I do still have that independence of myself as she does herself.
Yeah, but it all comes back down to setting those boundaries, right?
Boundaries, and also respect, right? Respect each other's skills.
Yeah,
and know and trust.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Definitely know what you're good at and what you're not.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks for
I
sharing.
could never do her job, and
And I don't want to do his. I'm just kidding.
Tell me, what is the most challenging thing that you ever had to face to pick up, to be asked to pick up, or the weirdest thing?
well, every day is a little different. We could do anywhere between 10 and 18 stops a day. We do anything
Wow.
from warehouse cleanouts to biotech companies to
estate cleanouts
to houses.
Somebody just moving. Yeah.
Yeah, so you run into a lot of different things. I guess like just a couple things that come to mind. I once did a job for a guy. I was cleaning out the closet and I found an urn and I was like, hey, I found someone in the closet, and I was kind of trying to be funny about it. And he said, oh, yeah, that's my ex-wife. Throw her in the truck. She belongs in the dump.
Oh, no.
And morally, I couldn't do that. So I declined to take the urn and told him, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take this. And so that was an interesting one. Another interesting job would probably be, I did a really big Hillsborough mansion across the bay. Cleaned out the whole estate. Last item in the house that I was avoiding was like a 14-foot mirror, and I was like, I really do not want to move this mirror. Mirrors are dangerous to move, so we taped it up in an X pattern to make sure if it does break, nobody's getting injured. And I couldn't get it off the wall. I'm like shaking this thing, and it doesn't come off the wall. I'm like, man, what is wrong with this thing? Why won't it move? So I finally got a little frustrated and kind of nudged it, and I heard a click. And I was like, well, that's weird. And I was with this gentleman's granddaughter who hired us to clean the place out. And it was a secret door. And so we walked through this door, and there's these like hidden
Panic room.
hallways through the house, somewhat of so, right? So as we walked through the hallways, there's nothing back there, but we did see a door down at the end of the hallway. So we opened it. We actually found a hidden gun vault with guns from the 1800s. In
That
the
is amazing. And they didn't even know they had this.
The granddaughter
she
had no idea.
Wow. Just the treasures
She
you
had
can
like grown
find
up in that house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even junk. It's
Every day
treasures.
is so different. You never know what you're going to walk into, right? And doing that large volume of jobs, like you're bound to see something pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every day is a little different. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to answer your question and pinpoint, like, what's the one craziest thing? Those two things just kind of came to mind just now. But, I mean, as far as, like, the craziest thing, there's so many different jobs and so many different things that you see that, honestly, in our industry, every hour is different. You know, I may come to your house and maybe you just got a new sofa and I'm picking up your old sofa.
Yeah.
Or I may go to another customer's house and, maybe somebody passed away in the family and we're sorting donations and cleaning out the entire estate and trying to figure out what to do with certain items and things that are valuable and things that are not. So
yeah, we always joke that one day we're going to write a book called The Junk Diaries, with just
that would
like
be fun.
documenting like a series of all of the crazy things and different stories. Like that's
You should, and
Don't
when
know
you
if it'll
do,
ever
we'll come
materialize,
back
but-
and give you another interview about
There you go.
the Junk
About the
Diaries.
book.
good.
Yeah, we'll do a book signing for you guys.
Yes, that would be great. So let's play a little game now.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the game, Who is More Likely to?
yes.
Okay, so you have to close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
And
No
you
cheating.
point either at yourself or at the other person. We'll see how in sync you guys are.
Okay.
Sounds
Let's do
good.
this. All right.
Okay.
Eyes closed.
So it'll be about 12 questions.
I use my right hand. You'll use your left. so we
Left
don't hit
hand,
each other.
right.
Sure, so you don't poke each other's eyes out.
Okay.
Okay, so who is more likely to wake up early and get ready for work? Who is more likely to be more outgoing? Who is more likely to remember a pickup appointment without an app? Who is more likely to have their phone all day and run out of battery?
It's equal.
Uh-oh. Who is more likely to be more productive in the morning? Who is more likely to be organized? Who is more likely to want more time alone to have some me time? Who is more likely to be creative? Who is more likely to save money? Who is more likely to give up in an argument? Who is more likely to say sorry first? Who is more likely to be a workaholic? That was fun. Can't wait for you to see that.
Can I open my eyes?
You can
Okay.
open your eyes.
I heard an uh-oh, so we must have missed one.
There was some that I was like kind of unsure about.
Well, with all of this business talk, there must be, there's always a big learning curve when it comes to owning your own business. What is the biggest lesson you've learned thus far in owning your business?
You could probably answer this one.
Yeah, so I would say although this wasn't necessarily a surprise, but it really just continued to prove itself time and time again, is that the relationships that you build, with your clients and with your vendors are gonna be the most important and substantial part of growing your business. So we really value those relationships. And we depend on them time and time again, and we've continued to really put our blood, sweat, and tears into making sure we build those strong relationships. And again, that didn't necessarily, it wasn't a surprise for us, but it's something that we continue to really depend on as we grow a business. Yeah.
It's just something that's been proven over and over, and it's luckily I like to talk, and I'll talk to everybody. I'll talk to the wall if it would talk back.
Yeah,
So,
he'll be at dinner. We'll he'll start up a conversation with somebody, sitting next to us, and next thing you know, he's handing out our business card. He's like, here, so tell everybody about what you do. Yeah,
networking is
all
key.
the time.
I definitely, I don't know how to turn that off.
Yeah.
So, and I'm actually pretty intrigued in what others do for work, and I'm always curious to know what others do, because you never know where a relationship can mend. And depending on what industry you're in and what industry I'm in, maybe we can work together and we can both
collaborate.
Yeah, totally.
Right, on different
things.
things.
It's definitely one of my go-to questions when I meet people. So what do you do for a living? And I always somehow find a way to slide a Nixit card over to him one way or another.
Well, we'll need, something, whether that's, the truck being painted or decaled, and those are just the first things that come to mind. And he'll be like, I have somebody for that. I know somebody for that. And he's just pulling resources from everywhere. And you're just like, great.
Yeah,
I'm definitely that guy that people tend to call. They're with the most random stuff. And
he must know where to go for this. I'll call Bryce
all the time.
Right?
Even his friends will call him about certain things, and he'll be like, I have somebody for that.
All right, now I know I need to call Bryce right
I
now.
always got somebody.
What do you need? We got it.
So I don't have multiple people for things. I am a firm believer in it's kind of like your doctor, for instance. You always go back to your same doctor. So whether I have somebody that paints my trucks or somebody that does my decals, or whatever the situation may be, I do continuously, where we purchase our trucks, I do continuously go back to the same person.
If you're happy with their service.
Absolutely, but loyalty is a lot for us,
I'm very loyal to the people that I collaborate with, the people that I work with, and the people that, I help out and can help me out.
Yep.
Yeah, so building strong relationships is very important for a business, especially just any business, right? If you don't have those strong relationships, how are you going to make your business advance? And I think that's a great message.
Whether that's your employees that are your biggest asset to, the vendors and the clients, it takes a village to grow a business. Yeah,
same thing with just life in general. It's just a good life model.
Nice. And so with all of this, what's next for Nixit? What's next for both of you?
Ooh.
So we don't want to give away all our secrets, right?
Of course.
So, we do plan to continue to progress in the junk removal industry, also through other avenues in junk removal, not necessarily just junk pickups, but other avenues that we've kind of brainstormed and tapped into. So, but without saying too much, there'll be a few other businesses in the future within Nixit.
Yeah.
Well,
kind of under the umbrella, and then maybe we'll write that book as well.
That would be great. The Junk Diaries. I can't wait, because just you telling me those two stories, I was already at the edge of my seat.
We have chapters like that. We were like, okay, this chapter would be this. So each story would be a different chapter.
That would be amazing. And you're still early enough where you can start writing them before you get too many years ahead.
I know, we have to jot down notes so we remember.
For sure. And, I'll be here with another interview to ask you about your future businesses that you have planned and that book. That would be great. So, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I would like to know if you would leave our viewers with a message on, they're still waiting to take that next move, right? They're trying to start a business, but they haven't taken that first step. What would you say to them to get started?
Once you have a plan, it's written down on paper, you've done your research, you know your competition, and you have that fire built up and burning, and you'll know it when you feel it. You'll have that itch, kind of like you shared your story about how you and your friends started Startup Hype. Yeah. So when you have that fire, just take that leap. Just jump on it. Go for it. You know, quit your job, or maybe this is like a side hustle for you, whatever it is. Just take off and go with that fire. That passion's going to drive you, and it's going to get you to that next step and make you successful. And you'll know that feeling. It's that like burning sensation, you know, building up, and you're like, I want to do this. Just go for it. Take
For
off.
once, I have nothing to say. She said that better than I could have said.
And I for
both felt
sure
it, so,
agree.
yeah.
Before we started Hype, I did have that itch. Like, there's something else I
You're
need
like,
to do out there, whether it's
you
bring
can't stop
people
thinking
together.
about it. It wakes you up at night.
Yes, for sure. Go ahead and do it. I like it. Well, thank you so much, Sarah and Bryce, for having us here in your shop. We really enjoyed our conversation today, and I can't wait to come back and talk to you all about your future businesses.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to
Well, we
it.
appreciate
Thank you for having us. We appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today and having us on Startup Hype.
Thanks. And thank you everyone watching today. Don't forget to like our video, smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't, and stay inspired, stay motivated, stay hyped. This is Startup Hype. See you next time.